we just had a question. It's a typical New Ager question. What is the symbol of a geode? What are these pockets of crystals? Nothing. Just a whole lot of that crystal. A geode is a formation in nature like leaves in a tree. Just a lot. That's it. That's how nature manifests things. In clusters, in clouds of that thing. That's it. So one amethyst crystal has the same property than the amethyst geode. A geode does not hold direction. Crystal does. But the geode is more like a bulb. Like one pocket of potential, like in the lava lamp. So, crystals with direction, with a point, you have one direction and it holds one idea. A geode is a symbol of potential of that, of the crystal in question. Okay? So it doesn't change the property of the crystal itself. It changes the application. It will hold in an area some energy. It is less efficient as a talisman because it doesn't have a precise idea. It's a symbol of a lot agglomerated together. And it just stays there. So a geode will bless an environment if it holds a blessing. But you won't be able to do precise application in a ritual with a geode. It has nothing to do with the numbers or the rock. It has to do to the natural manifestation. It is an energy of being kept in an area, close towards the inside. So it's for that. You can combine all this wisdom in ritual work. You want the peace and harmony of 4, but you want the collaboration and combination of 6. Well, you won't have 10 candles because then it's not 4 and 6. It's 10, so it's not the same number. You will have 6 candles, but they will be blue, the color of 4. If you want to have a pure 6 experience, you take 6 yellow candles, or orange, or gold. But if you want to have a harmonious collaboration, then you take the harmony of the 4 or the blue, and the collaboration of the 6 or the yellow. So 4 gold candles will have a wise form, will bring light in communion equally, or 6 blue candles. The numbers must not be fixed to the color guide I just gave. When we do Kabbalah and we want to go far in a specific experience, we will combine as much correspondence as we can. 4 blue candles in a square shape, with square things, with crosses, praying El, Chesed and Tzadkel, and we orient everything precisely on that energy, so that we will reach the ultimate experience, let's say, of Tzadkel. But when it's applied to a worldly manifestation, it's all about combination of correspondence in a ritual. So when you want to discover for your studies, for precise help, you will use everything in one recommended trend, everything for that precise subject. But when it's a complex expression, which is doing good business, then you want to combine the earthly 10, the realization of 8 or orange, the equity of blue or 4, just find combinations. With rocks of each concept if you want on the table. But if there's 3 rocks, 1 for each symbol, you've got a tree there, doesn't work. Find a 4th rock so it stays 4, so it fits in your main concept. So all these grimoires, these ritual recipes of magic, do this with that, numbers, colors, rocks, incense, plant, type of feather, they got all sorts of things. Everything becomes a reference, a natural reference to an experience. And then you combine them. If you want to go precise, you use all the correspondence of one specific experience. And if you want to have a large application, good business that brings abundance, you have a few concepts to combine now. It's more complex human situation. So each influence will be dissolved because it's not pure 4 blue lapis lazuli, it's more like combinations of possibility. So make sure you don't combine too much. If you mix too much numbers, colors of various aspects, you're just going to get a general influence on everything. A very basic influence of a bit of all. So try to be precise in your combinations to have a strong ritual. Maybe one day we'll learn about ritual work. The forms of crystals follow form. They don't need to be perfect. In nature, nothing is absolutely precise in form. It's always suggested and artistically beautiful. A point is nothing or one, with no distinction of that one or not. A circle is the zero of the world. A line is something. It is the beginning of distinction. A cross is the combinations of these distinctions providing dimension. 4, 2, 2. A square is the form. Triangle is expansion. Triangle alone. Triangle with something is an interaction with. So a triangle in a circle is to interact with the world, as opposed to a triangle alone, which is simply expand. And you do this with every form. A form is a number. The number of sides follow the same rules. If it's gone, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, it's the outside, it's an ensemble. It's like a circle, but with the numeric influence. So everything which is realized, an octagon. A gram, pentagram, hexagram, octagram, the lines are crossing, like in the pentagram. Now is combining those forces. Okay. So a square and a square, a triangle and a triangle, that makes 6. These line crossing is about the combination of these forces together. It's the something of a line and not the everything of the circle. That's the difference between the something gone or something gram. Okay. If it's about the combination of forces in duality, lines cross. If it's the whole of a concept, it's one line that makes a circle with a numerical signification. Okay. So this is the rules for shape. It follows the numbers. So square, blue, 4, lapis lazuli. I don't think that blueberry incense is applicable there. But there's probably someone who would say, that smells blue. Okay, go with that. What's the smell of red? I know what is the smell of brown, but I don't know what the smell of red. Yes, I know the smell of red. It's like iron, ferrous. So you play with these colors and smells and incense and rocks and candles. If you want to do a prayer or a ritual, if you want to accomplish something, you can combine these influences in your project in order to focus on what you want to accomplish. It's an influence, not a guaranteed manifestation. Still have work to do. Now, if it's for revelation, sometimes it's for operation. You want to operate something. But if it's for revelation or observation, you want to become aware, then you do card reading. You try various methods. You look at numbers. You use 3 dices and you do that. Okay, that is my question. You take 3 dices and you clairvoyance or mediumity with dices. Then you take the tarot deck. It becomes more clear. Because a tarot card holds ideas and planes. So in the tarot, a staff, a stick, is a symbol of fire. A round dime is a symbol of earth. The intellect would think it has to be square to be earth. No. Earth is round. It is everything. It is the final realm. We even put a 6-pointed star on the dime as a signification that the earth is everything that is combined. In the end, it's the whole of every combination. Okay. So the earth is a dime, a thick, heavy metal dime. The stick, the staff, the wood is fire. Well, it can be a staff of metal. It's the other staff. It's fire. The sword is the air, which is also the mind. And the cup is water. No mystery there. Then of course it takes a class on reading tarot, which I will not do now. Way too complicated. Using these information, you can use pretty much anything to do some kind of divination. Got a basic chart here of how nature reveals information. Therefore, you can ask nature and it will reveal it. If you want your dices to always fall according to your question, they need to be prepared, or else you're just throwing dices. So you want to have a divination set of dice, 3 or 5. Use an odd number of cards in your tarot, 1, 3 or 5. More efficient for revelation. And you can prepare yourself a set of die. Your tarot card has to be blessed with this idea of truth. And while you do your blessing of your deck of tarot cards, if deep inside your ego, I bless this tarot card because I always want to be okay and right about everything, it's only going to show you what you want to see. If you bless it instead of humility, I'm ready, my God, to receive the truth. Whatever it is, I don't care, and I'll be ready to face it. Then your deck will tell you exactly what you need to know. It will not be tainted by an egocentric insecurity or a desire of perfection. If you are a perfectionist, mirror, mirror, show me who is the most fair, the most beautiful. Okay. It's gonna lie to you. Can we use these correspondence outside of complex ritual? Of course. This applies everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So to the question, does carrying a red rock change something? The answer is, it depends. Did you make it change something? The red rock is a rock. I'm answering another question at the same time. Can you put an energy in a rock and use it? The answer to these two questions is, a rock is a physical object. It does not affect anything except the physical world, especially if you throw it very hard at someone. Ow! Otherwise, it's just a friggin' rock. It is the energy you put in it that radiates. And if you want to have the maximum influence, the shape or color or both of your rock will correspond to the type of influence you want. So the influence or the energy you put in it, the consciousness you put in the rock, will be comfortable there, and it will stay longer and have a more efficient influence. But it is consciousness that affects consciousness, not the physical rock. The physical properties of things is to allow stronger manifestation of the consciousness, because nature would naturally manifest something in that shape or that color according to those numbers. So ritual work is a technical imitation of nature. To manifest a certain kind of influence, you combine physical, numbers, colors, taste if you want. Anything perceived that makes sense with the original intention of your manifestation. We do this so that the world will accept it and the manifestation is easier, because the world is not resisting the manifestation. It is symbolically saying yes. But the physical objects are inert. Inert. Inertia. No? Nothing. It's an object. The influence of a rock is at its maximum on the physical plane when you throw it on someone. This is just a joke to awaken on the real influence of a blue rock. Nothing except that it's blue and hard. So if it's just alone in the woods, nothing happens. However, it will accept consciousness according to its natural properties. If you do a ritual and everything you do is combine the good objects in the recipe, it does not work. A magic ritual is not combining correspondence. It's applying your consciousness to influence nature. But nature naturally resists. So you open a door, you make it comfortable. Okay? You make it easier for that consciousness to penetrate the physical world. Combining correspondences is to give a favorable environment for a manifestation to come in. It's a greeting card. Correspondences is good marketing for consciousness. Yes, come in this world, we're ready for you. It's to allow the passage by respecting the laws of nature in its archetypes. So carrying a red rock in your pocket changes nothing except make marks on your cell phone if you put it in the same pocket. But it's not the red rock you put in your pocket. It's the consciousness that you put in the red rock. And then the red rock carries it like the container. But red rock is just red rock. That's it. Ritual work is correspondences pushed to its maximum. But these correspondences are absolutely universal. The color of your clothing in general, the type of jewelry you wear. Everything is a very slight influence. So bless your rock before you use it to make it powerful. Because it's not the rock that is powerful. It's the consciousness it carries. Must you clean a rock when you used it? It depends. Is it dirty? Must you clean a rock before you use it? It depends. Is it dirty? Do you need to clean it? How do you clean a rock? Put it in salt water? It changes nothing. Unless there's a prayer in the salt water. Putting a rock in salt water does not clean the rocks of its energies. It's like sending your rock to the beach. Changes nothing. The rock does not benefit from the time spent on the beach. It's a freaking rock. So you need to stop thinking in terms of physical properties. Think in terms of symbols. The physical properties are symbols of the real causality at work. So if you want to clean a rock, it's not in salt water that you must put it. It's in blessed salt water. Because the water and the salt is a symbol allowing a blessing to stay there long enough for the cleaning to happen. That's why we put it in salt water. Because combining salt and water is allowing holy resource to stay in water long enough for the cleaning phenomena to happen. Salt is a symbol of minerals in various types, including salt. But it's a symbol of minerals for the spirit, a symbol of resource. It's the color white, a symbol of the one, pure. White, resource, pure consciousness. Okay, salt. Water. You put it in water because water is a symbol of the feelings and the potentials energy of the mem, of the matrix of the flowing consciousness of Divine Mother. So, salt, water can hold purifying energies if you bless them with purity. Then you put your dirty rock in the salt water. Not a single thing in the magical art will work if there's no consciousness involved. So if you clean with salt water, there's a reason. The salt water has to be a correspondence to the natural symbol that we use in alchemy, for example. Okay. Salt, of what is mercury, of sulfur and all this stuff. Okay. The first reason why we use salt is because it's accessible. You have it. Better than salt is water with salt, but the base of your container to clean your crystals is grinded quartz, pure silicium salt. Not salt, but sand. Just 1 centimeter, a layer of salt, so you can put them there. And then your blessings has this amplified clarity of the quartz that we say it amplifies. It's just more clear. The symbol of clarity. Okay. And everything is transparent. I'm playing now, but for example, before you do your ritual on your red stone, you can take a transparent red plastic sheet, put it over your container so that the light that comes into that purifying process is red. So your red stone is already ready to receive red light if you prayed for it. Oh, put red filter, it works better. No. Put a red filter and declare consciously that red light is preparing the stone for that purpose. With no conscious declaration, nothing happens. Okay? It's a theater. Nothing happens. It's not real. It's a dream. Okay? So in magic, everything is declared. I'm doing this for that. You look at it, you breathe, you know it's for that. then you go on to something else. Pay attention, you make it. And when you're a powerful manifester, you don't need correspondence anymore. The world does not resist you anymore. But while the world resists, because you did not conquer it inside you, you use correspondence outside to make these conscious manifestations come in easier. Make it a comfortable environment for something to happen. Was there a question I did not answer in there?
Well, there's some new ones.
Alright, read it. Oh, just to make sure. If it's a blessed red stone with no ritual, it helps to carry it. Yes, it does work. Okay, next.
Is it true that lighting candles calls souls or spiritual beings?
No. Lighting candles does not call souls or spiritual beings. What calls spiritual beings is lighting a candle in the intention, consciously, of calling a spiritual being. The candle making it just an easier process to happen. I'm just trying to enforce this to get rid of the sorcery of using this stuff and that thing will do that. If you're not consciously applying something, it doesn't work. So a candle is burning wax. So what is the karma or causality of lighting a candle? Is the slow disappearing of wax while you benefit from physical light. And it ends right there. But it does represent something for higher consciousness in nature. So yes, if you use candles, and the type of being will depend on the number of candles and their color and their disposition on your altar. Next question.
What is the dark side of the number 8 and the number 9?
The dark side of 8 is rules made to enslave and not for respect. It's tyranny and terror. It's control. That's 8. Okay? In general. Because the more we go, the harder it is to know if it's in which position. But for the primary 8 of self-realization, there's argumentation and justification. Okay? And for the setting up of things, then there's a control systems. And for the infinite, there is the limitation that comes from the square binding together so hard that it can't be broken. Mud is to be stuck. Is to be just stuck. To have no other way out. It's some kind of despair. It's also inertia and laziness. It's the symbol of thickness. If it's very thick, it's lazy and greedy, and then you have the demonic side of Gabriel. Gabriel is the holy side, and then you have the demonic equivalent that I don't want to say the name now. Next question.
Is there any special meaning in palindrome numbers?
Palindrome?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Which, I'm not sure, but I think it's when you read it backwards.
If you read it backwards, you're interpreting backwards what it means. Is it okay? Palindrome? I never heard the word, so.
Yeah.
I'm usually smart, but I don't know what it means. Okay, next. Give us precision about palindrome. Usually it's in good order, but if palindrome means something else, like... Okay, next.
Comment les couleurs, les nombres et la matière permettent-ils de comprendre la voyance?
Rewatch the entire videos. Okay? How does color, numbers, and stones and shapes permit to understand more voyance? just rewatch the entire video. Okay? I just said it. Throw dices. If you want it to reveal you the truth through numbers, it will. So just ask your priest or your guide. You'll have precisions. Yes?
So palindrome is a number that's the same when you read it backwards and frontwards.
Oh, it doesn't change anything.
No.
If it's primary position, median, or intermediary position, or final, that's it. It would mean that to a beginning and a end is the same thing. In the end, it's just the same thing. But okay, thank you, palindrome.
Can it be useful or necessary for a therapist to use stones for his own protection? If yes, what kind of stone and how to use it?
Necessary, not. Useful, why not? A stone that has an influence. Which one? What are you protecting yourself against? Rewatch the entire series of videos. Protection against injustice, stones of justice. Square, blue for transparent, for justice, for integrity. Dark blue or opaque blue for stable form, for example. Yeah.
Do you think Crowley's 777 on correspondences is a good study?
Start that again, over.
Do you think Crowley's 777 on correspondences is a good study? Or is it too limited to Golden Dawn's beliefs?
I will say that it is not inaccurate. It's a perception of the 3-7. I do it in a different way. I won't say my way is better. I won't even dare say something like that. It's a different perspective. He was a part of the Golden Dawn, but he was not just that. Crowley was not just that. He's not the most enlightened being. He's just very smart and powerful. His teachings on virtue was weak, in my opinion. It's an opinion. Doesn't mean it's good. But if you want my idea of the 777, just rewatch the entire video. You have it right there. Yes. Next.
What form, color, and number can maintain balance and harmony with our soul?
Okay, usually we would think of 4 because we want to go to the highest point consciousness. When this person asked the balance with the soul, there's a component of the question meaning, how can I stay balanced between the human and the soul? First, free yourself of the idea that your human is not your soul. That's the first thing you get rid of. Secondary, you want to have a balance of the planes 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9. Therefore, you use the 6, which is the central piece of all numbers, like in the tree of life. Is it combining, communion, so everything 6. Pure balance of soul. Balance in life, 4. Balance in spirituality, 6. So for horizontal balance, for everything to be peaceful and harmonious, 4. For vertical balance, in a balance, incarnate yet spiritual life, 6. Then 6, Star of David, gold, rich yellow, not dark yellow, light orange, a good orange, no stain. Yep. Next.
Can you talk about dimensional portals and how they work?
Okay, dimensional portals. It is physically represented. So we do fabricate or build a physical device that will be a symbol of something can go through from one plane to another. How they work? Let's say you know where you live and you know where the grocery store is, then you know how to go from there to there, so you can make a medium through which you can go from home to the grocery store and back. To bring a 6th plane being into the 8th, 9th plane, more humanly accessible plane, you need to exist in the 6th plane. You need to be physically, not physically, humanly and solely and conceptually alive. You must exist at a level. So if you want a karmic entity, let's say you want Kamael to come directly in your physical life, first you must exist physically. So have no incarnation problems, no judgment about sexuality, no abuse and addiction of sexuality, no too much, not too less, just balance, well ordained, physical experience, somewhat healthy, somewhat in shape. Even if you have a sickness, as long as you care for it, it's a good 10th plane experience. So 10th plane is okay. You can build a bridge between the 10th plane and something else. If you see, live, exist in causality, you can exist there. So it's your consciousness that builds the bridge. It's your ability. I know what 5th plane is. I know what 10th plane is. You exist it in a physical representing device. Then the portal will be an elevator between the two planes. You want to invoke a demon from hell? You need to consciously exist and be in charge at a lower plane of hell. Then you have a control on that portal. If you just dig down a hole with your shovel in the planes of hell until you reach the thing you want, it's just gonna come up and no control. You don't have a switch on the bottom, you know? You need to be a master. So for those people who build bridges to planes of hell, to master that, you, as the one who creates the portal, must consciously exist in that plane of hell, fully virtuous, to the point that these demons come and bow to you in service, afraid of your gaze of destruction, you know? You dominate that plane. Then you're the one who has the hand on the switch. Okay, so people who play with things like that just get screwed because they don't dominate their most darkest nature. Okay, it's just hard to dominate the animal nature. So to invoke angels to be more accessible here, or various entities of various planes, you must be conscious and functional at this plane. Then you decide. Then you're the one in control of the switch. If you do these portals and you do not have the competence of these various planes that you're playing with, the people of these planes take over and do whatever they want with the elevator because they're the one operating it. Is that good enough? Good. Physical device is like anything. Build something where everything is a bridge between the planes that you want to involve. Physical influence of Kamael. A brown square or cubic thing at the base for Malkut. Something above, which is a 5-pointed star and an hexagram. An hexagon and a pentagon and a pentagram. With all the symbols of Kabbalah, the colors and everything. And then you bless it to operate and allow Kamael into your life, for example. Okay? Good? Interesting? Building portals without being a master of the planes that you invoke. Highly stupid. Building a plane to the highest part of heaven is not stupid. It just won't work. It's like that's a door I do for Michael to enter my life. You open a door, it's a cement wall. Just build a frame on a wall. No, it has to be open to the plane. Okay? Or else it doesn't work. Okay? But everyone who prays, at one point Michael will hear you. And something will happen. For him to hear you, lots of malas, long time. 1 year long, 1 mala a day to call 1 angel. If you don't exist on that plane. If you exist consciously on that plane, you dial its number. Hey, it's Tzadkiel. How about a beer? Ah, holy beer. Tzadkiel. Okay? It's automatic. You ever call Tzadkiel in your beer? I did. Okay, that's a good question. You know? How do they work? You're the one that goes to that plane to install the door on that plane, and on the other plane to install the door. Next question.
What is magic?
It's a game of cards. I think there's also a movie with that name. You know the game of magic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic is a game of... Okay. Magic is the art of the mage, where energy move according to the mage. A mage is someone who commands potentials of energy, and they follow. So magic, you can imitate magic. You know? Get cards out of your sleeves, a bunny out of a hat. But the art of the mage is to set in motion potentials between the various planes to cause a supernatural manifestation. That is magic.
Is it more effective if we put our consciousness in the rocks by transmigration?
There is no consciousness in the rocks without transmigration. Is it more efficient with transmigration? The answer is without transmigration, nothing happens. Transmigration is the phenomena of migrating your consciousness. That's how you put it. Next.
What do you think about the so-called master numbers like 11, 22, 33?
Absolutely wonderful. In numerology, you reduce everything from 1 to 9 to one digit, unless you get 11, 22, 33. 44 to 99, it's your choice. I'd say reduce to have a clear idea. Usually 11, 22, and 33 in numerology are also part of the 12 master numbers. 1 to 9, 11, 22, and 33. The 12 master numbers. And you don't... 33 is still 6, 22 is still 4. But it will retain... 22 will retain its worldly incarnation aspect. 33 is a 6, but it will retain its third plane Holy Spirit combination and interaction. So we say 33 is number of Christ, 11 is the awakening of consciousness, it's 1-1. It's 1 consciousness, the potential, and 1 consciousness, the awakening. So it's both. And it becomes 2 as in producing something. Next.
That's it.
Well, that was good. That was fun. Question and answers. For more information, contact Tara Bejaye for his training of Majutsu, the Oriental art of magic. Ma in Japanese means pure if you use a kanji, and demon if you use another kanji. So Majutsu is playing with demons or the pure art. We write it pure art. A demon in Japan is not the evil concept we have in Christian mythology. It's a natural spirit that is not virtuous. But it's not evil. It just doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care. So for Majutsu, the pure art, study with Tara Bejaye. I think it's majutsu.com. They can find information there eventually.
.net.
Majutsu.net, okay. For Kabbalah, for the Oriental art, study with Ganeshakti. Kabbalah.magic.
Kabbalistic mage.
Kabbalistic mage. Write to her. Write an email. Want to know our email? Write to me. One of my staff will answer you. Next.
About the MahaVajra holidays, can you explain month, date, and meaning?
They follow in various religious traditions the numerology that was explained. The first year, the first day of the first month of the first year, okay, so January 1st of 2001, okay, when the end number is 1, we just go by there. The total is 5, so it does give an influence. But it's a 1-1-1 celebration for us, okay, because we just start over every decade. So it's a prayer to Brahma, prayer to origin, prayer to what one is. In 2013, we will have a major celebration on the 3rd of March. 3rd day, 3rd month, 3rd year of that decade. Okay? And for 3 will be a major powwow of Shiva, supernatural ability out of compassion, interaction, prayer. Okay, for example, on the 10th of October, of course we don't have master numbers. So in November and in December we never have major celebration in our tradition. We have the minor celebration because every month we want to take 1 minute. Not a celebration, but 1 minute. Every 3 of March, every 4th of April. You know, 4th of April to think about the form and dimension and freedom, equity. On the 5th of May, we think of strength. On the 6th of June, we think of wisdom and communion. But just a moment for that day. It's nothing dramatic. The major yearly celebration of MahaVajra is the 7th of the 7th. And I'm anxious to see the powwow we're going to throw in 2017. On the 3/7, just... Yeah, the celebration chart, you have it. We still have a document in construction about... It'll be in the correspondence chart. It's going to be a document with all those correspondence, and the dates are there. Okay. So I don't want to explain too much. We have a document about that. If you follow the numbers, if you review what we've been talking the entire day, you'll get it. And on the 3rd of March 2013, where violet, indigo, and amethyst, for example, you know, just more correspondence to celebrate that day. Right?
You won't speak about the incense. Maybe we can have some correspondence about that.
Okay, the incense. When you use incense, I will not tell anything about incense. There are packages of incense that are grounded powder that you can read on the package what it's meant for. Pick one that corresponds to your ritual or manifestation. Just use what they describe. You're doing a ritual of 4 and blue. Pick a harmony and peace incense. You're doing manifestation. Take a earth and healing or whatever. You know, take an incense. They describe it. So I'm not talking about incense more than that. Every chart changes, but it all ends up to the same basics. Those in powder that you put on a burning coal, these are the best ones for ritual work. Next question.
What is the difference between magic and miracle?
Magic uses correspondence. Miracle doesn't give a shit. It does it. Miracle is when the only power that drives the event is love. And it follows no technical aspect of correspondence. It's not asking nature to accept, please, nature, accept my ritual, please. It's a divine decree, and you alter the reality. That's miracle work. It's supernatural. Yes?
Do the number of the months in the year have a special meaning?
Rewatch the videos.
Can our soul guide us to planes we want to be familiar with when we commune with our soul?
Communion is communion. It only depends on your human states. If your heart is available, your mind is not fighting, and you want to be in a relationship with God, then you are. Your soul is just waiting for you to do it. Next.
When will the video of this seminar be available?
Soon. Next.
That's it.
Thank you. It's going to be a lot of work just editing all that. But I'm going to make it available. It's going to be for sale somewhere. You'll get the email. The moment I get back from the weekend home, I'm going to process all this stuff. Alright? That's it for today. It was a nice day. Lots of cool information. Technical, intellectual. Tomorrow, we go further in experiences on what does all that do. These combinations that you suggest today, the precise application. Do days in a month make sense? Well, if you're born on that day, it does. Otherwise, it's another day in the month. It's just a question of your consciousness, not the actual number. It's your experience of it. The time of birth is an influence, not dramatic, but it does influence. It changes a bit. That's it. Thank you. Take the remaining time to relax, talk a bit, exchange, and when you're ready, we'll just go to bed. People of Europe, thank you for staying so late. And we're going to open the air conditioning here, now that it doesn't matter if there's noise in that freaking room. Thank you. Close the camera. All right.
Thanks.